So time to finish this up. Now that we got an up and running function, let's make sure we actually utilize the Firebase admin package, which we can use in our function to send a push notification. For that, we first of all need to import it. And in JavaScript, we do this by adding a constant, so a variable that can't be changed, with any name of your choice. And then we use require to, in this case, import Firebase admin. So here I repeat the package name, which you also find here in the package.json file. Now this is in the end a package that gives us administration privileges in our function, and we need those to send a message or to send push notifications. Now you can send push notifications in different ways. You can target individual devices, for example. For that, in your Flutter code, with help of that Firebase messaging object, which we used to get the permissions and to configure our handlers, you can get the device token with get token. This is a token which you would have to send to a server to store it in some database, and anyone who has that token, so if that is stored in your server-side database, can use that token to send a notification to it. So you can send notifications to specific devices with help of those device tokens. So you can get this token and use that to send messages to specific devices. For example, that might be useful if two people are chatting with each other. Then you would store the device token of every participant in your database, and whenever participant A sends a message to participant B, you would grab the token of participant B and send a push notification to him or her. So that is one option. But you also can do something else. With the Firebase package here, with the Firebase messaging package in Flutter, you can also subscribe to a topic. And that topic is simply a string identifier, and it can be anything of your choice, for example, chat. And this will do what the name implies. This will subscribe to such a topic. And now any notification sent to such a topic will reach this device. And you can target topics with the Firebase admin SDK too. So I will subscribe to this topic here, to the chat topic here. And with that, we should receive any push notifications sent to this topic on this device. So now back in our index.js file, so in that cloud function, we want to send a new notification to this topic. And we do this by calling admin. That's our admin SDK object here. And then there, messaging, which you execute as a function. And then there, send. And you got a send to topic function, a send to topic method here, which you can use. And this does just what the name implies. It sends a message to a specific topic. So here, you then first enter your topic identifier, which of course should be the same one as in the Flutter app. So here I will use chat. And then the second argument is your payload. So basically the data you want to send. That should be a JavaScript object, which you create with such curly braces. And in there, you can choose whether it's a data message or a notification. Now, I mentioned earlier that the notification is what we want here, so I'll choose notification. And that itself uses an object as a value. So you have notification, and then a colon, and then you assign the value for that notification, so the object that describes this notification. And in there, we can add a title, and I want to use the name of the user who sent the message as a title. So I will access snapshot data, and then there we saw in our log, if I go back to that we can access the username field to get that username. So I will access username here as my title. And we can also set up a body, which is the main message, and that should be the message the user sent. So here I will use the text. So therefore here it's now snapshot data text. So this should be my notification. There is more you can set, and you can, again, as always, check out the official docs to learn all about that. I will just set the click action here and set this to this Flutter notification thing, which we did have to set up earlier as well. So to this Flutter notification click identifier here as a string. So that should send a message, and this returns a promise, and that makes this entire process the ideal return value of our function. This ensures that the function will keep on running until this message here, this notification, has been scheduled. So with that, if we now save this, we can redeploy our Firebase function with Firebase deploy, and we can also kill the running Flutter app and restart that Flutter app now that we made sure that we subscribe to the chat topic there to see whether that all works the way it should. For that, I'll not just launch the app here on Android, but I'll also stop this again and now select my real iPhone device again so that I also run the latest version on that device and launch the app there as well. And here's the app running there. I'm already getting asked whether I want to allow getting push notifications, so I will confirm this here. So here's the app up and running. And now that both apps are up and running, let's verify whether that all works. For that, I'll put the Android app in background and send a message from my iOS device. And see whether that triggers a push notification on Android. And that's not happening. And in the Firebase Cloud Function console here, we see why. Because the default Firebase app does not exist, make sure to call initialize app before using the Firebase services. Little mistake from my side here. In index.js, before we use the admin SDK, we should call initialize app on it, just like this. That's one tiny extra line that makes a huge difference. You should add it, and thereafter just redeploy with Firebase deploy again. Now, you don't need to rebuild your Flutter apps. It has nothing to do with that. You just need to add this line to the Cloud Function and redeploy it. And once the deployment process finished, let's test this again. So the function redeployed. So if I'm back here, let's try another test here and send that. And now this looks much better. Here you see Maximilian, another test. And if I click on that, I'm of course taken to the chat app. So that's great. Now let's try the other direction. And for that, I'm switching to another app here on the iPhone so that, again, the main app is running in the background. And now I'll send a notification here. Notification or message from Android. And let's see if we got this message coming up here on the iPhone. Here it is. So here we see the sender and the message. And of course here, if I expand this and tap on it, the app here is also reopened. So that works on both devices, as you can tell. And that is how push notifications work and how you can trigger them both manually through the cloud messaging console here in the web, as well as programmatically through some server-side code, for example here with the Firebase Cloud Function code. And especially if you're using all the other Firebase services, you see that they're nicely integrating into each other, that they're very easy to connect, and that you can build quite amazing apps with little effort and not that much code.